First question, bit of a psychological one, if you'll indulge me, as I sit back in my armchair psychologist chair. Obviously, right, so it's the Jubilee weekend, and there is a cliche among the left, I think, that we all hate the royals. I feel like that's something that gets wheeled out. Is like when there's a big royal occasion, people always mock the Guardian for kind of being a bit snooty about it. And there's this, I think, misunderstanding that we all want it abolished, that princesses should be dragged from the tower and hung in the town square. And, you know, clearly that's not 100% accurate. There's only one member of the royal family that we actually want to see dragged out of a castle and then put in stocks and pilloried with rotten veg. And that is Prince George, an evil child. I mean, he's, you know, by far and wide the most evil member of, like, already. And he's not even, like, how old is he? And it's not even close. He's clearly the most evil.
I don't know. Reminds me of that kid from The Omen.
Yes, I also get Omen vibes from him. Just a mean child with an evil heart. I think we can agree on that. Who feasts on blood of babies.
Obviously.
Yeah, I joke. But not about that. But no, just going back to my original point, there's a cliche among some circles that the left sort of hate the royals, that we're fundamentally against the royals. Why do you think that is? What do you think it is about someone who subscribes to sort of left-leaning ideology that might also make them go, I don't like the royal family?
If you ask me, the fundamentals of leftist politics is that everybody is, or at least should be, treated the same, regardless of their advantages. Like, it shouldn't matter that you were born in a castle, or, for example, you were born in New York and started out as a dual citizen. Not that I'm thinking of anyone in particular, but it's this idea that because the Queen was born of royalty, she should be royalty, and therefore she is superior to you and I and anybody else listening to this right now. She's been given a life of immense privilege. And then, you know, I had this discussion with Marina Perkis yesterday. Like, it's not that I'm saying that the Queen doesn't, like, work hard necessarily, but you know, I wish that I had like 27 assistants who tell me what to do and tell me what to say and get me dressed and pick out my outfit. And I just go there and I go, hello, my name's David, and this is a beautiful building that I'm opening today, and I hope you all enjoy it. Right, can I go now? Because that's essentially royal duties. And
yeah, that's an important point. It's sort of like nobody's denying that she works hard, certainly for a woman in her 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
But harder than a nurse? Like,
this is the thing. I think we get told a lot that, you know, the people that work hard. I don't think, you know, I don't even think that Boris Johnson doesn't work hard in the sense that he does a lot of things. It's just that the things that he's doing are, you know, like sticking his claws into democracy and tearing it asunder. But like, it's a different kind of working hard than someone who is working hard and still can't afford their mortgage and still can't really afford their food, and they're not really sure if their car's going to last till the end of the year, and they're wondering if they're going to have to move to a smaller place and things like that. That's what working hard is. Working hard is better top up my incomprehensibly large sum of 12 billion estates. Like, that's like, how can you work enough to earn that?
Yeah.
How can you do it?
Yeah, so for you, it sort of comes down to a classic sort of question of meritocracy. So the illusion is in the UK that the harder you work, the more successful you will become, right? If you just put in enough effort, then you can also become a CEO. But we all kind of know how simplistic and ridiculous that is, because some people just have a significantly better start, is probably a polite way of putting it. But even the people who work really, really hard and get up to the point, who are now sort of, you know, neck and neck with the people who had the head start, still they find themselves kind of oppressed, pushed out of the race, not taken seriously.
Absolutely. It's like, no one's denying that you can work to a certain level, but there's this myth that's pushed by like people like the Queen, like the Conservatives, like bloody Molly May, like Kim Kardashian, who say like, you know, this millions is just like, it's just hard work away. You've got to make sure you don't sleep and sacrifice. And I'm like, all of you were born into families that already had all these connections. You got given the places, and the other thing is as well, it's tied really intrinsically to education, and I've written a lot on my blog about how flawed the education system is and why that's by design.
Mm.
Like they make education fail some people because if we all got as educated as we could be and we were all brain surgeons and stuff, who the fucking hell would make the sandwiches?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, do you think it's actually that sort of Machiavellian and devious, like from the top levels, or is it? I mean, it's sort of the system works, right? For that exact reason, you need people to do kind of quite menial, boring jobs. Otherwise, who the fuck would do them if you train everyone up to be a, wealth management consultant or whatever? But I don't know if it's that, if it's something that they sort of actively work on like that. I think that's the output of it, but actually the motive behind it, I think for most of them, like your sort of Rees Moggs, your Boris Johnsons, all those guys, and all of their friends in various offices across Canary Wharf, I think for them, it's actually just as simple as, yeah, well, I went to school and I worked hard, and then I met this guy at the golf club, and he gave me an internship, and yeah, well, you could do it too. I think it's just huge ignorance on their part.